Bye, next time we're in town. All right, one of the most predictable responses from the media, beyond blaming Governor DeSantis, it was pushing climate change talking points.
Climate change making storms bigger and more costly, while Florida's Republican legislators mostly ignore the threat completely.
This is exactly what climate scientists have been warning about for a long time, and now we get to see it up close. John?
It's already undergone a process we call rapid intensification. Decades ago, it used to be one or two a season would happen. Now with climate change and these extreme warm waters, it's almost, it's happening all the time.
Now, as we told you last night, up until Ian, this had been the quietest start to hurricane season in 30 years. So this suggestion that this is all happening now because of climate change, it's just not borne out by the facts. But when it comes to the facts, CNN's Don Lemon, well, he's not interested.
What effect does climate change have on this phenomenon that is happening now? Because it seems these storms are intensifying. That's the question here.
I don't think you can link climate change to any one event. Okay. Link it to any one event, I would caution against that. Okay, well,
listen, I grew up there, and these storms are intensifying.
Joining me now is Michael Shellenburger, author of Apocalypse Never. All right, Michael, thanks for being with us tonight. Now, what's the truth here? Let's just stick to the facts about the frequency and intensification of the hurricanes.
Sure, good to be with you, Laura. So, the basic facts are there has been no increase in landfalling hurricanes over the last 120 years. In fact, there's a slight decline. There is no science supporting the idea that hurricanes will become more frequent. In fact, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration predicts that the frequency of hurricanes will actually decline by 25%. They also expect they'll intensify by 5%, but they are not intensifying right now. So any perception that hurricanes are more intense is just a perception fed by that relentless alarmist media. I think also there's just a lot more people that live in Hurricane Alley, and we're much more resilient to extreme weather events. So there's just a lot more people experiencing hurricanes because we're so wealthy and prosperous, and there's so many more of us. And so I think that's part of what creates this false perception.
Well, also, Michael, we have emotion. Like, emotion is a powerful thing. So people are on television and they're feeling a lot. I feel like this is climate change. I feel that the ocean is warmer, and there's just a lot of emotion that's pouring out of people. And it's like a bumper sticker line that just erupts every, 20 seconds or so on the other networks. It has to be climate change. But a feeling is not a fact.
Yeah, that's right. It's the manipulation of people's feelings. It's good to feel compassionate for the people that are struggling under extreme weather events. That's a positive feeling. But I think, you get this manipulation of emotion. I think the other thing is that there's something on the left in particular, which is the idea that if you're serious about something, if you really care about something, then you'll exaggerate it. So you see this constant exaggeration of all these issues, climate change, of course, being the prime example of it. The fact of the matter is deaths from natural disasters have been going down. The costs have not increased at all. It's the increased cost of hurricane damage is just because there's more wealth in harm's way. And so for that reason, we've actually seen the number of disasters, not extreme weather events, but disasters, which are measured as deaths and costs, has actually declined since the beginning of this century. And that's great news. It means that we're actually becoming much more resilient, much more capable of dealing with these extreme weather events. It's actually a story of success, and our hearts go out to people suffering from extreme weather, but the big picture is it's really been an incredible success story for the United States and for other societies around the world.
Now, just to give you a little gift tonight, Michael, here's Joy Reid and Ali Velshi tonight.
The reality is that humans, we're literally running from the climate change that we're pretending isn't happening, but we're physically being moved around the earth because of it.
It will actually be the single biggest cause of migration. We typically think of migration.
We're literally running, Michael, running. I don't know what she's talking about. I guess
running.
I don't know. I don't think
running,
we're literally
running to the
running,
coastal areas.
Yeah, I mean, what's the most
running
popular
to the coastal
property?
areas.
Yeah. I mean, it's just.
It's become a religion, Laura. It's an apocalyptic religion. It's a kind of reversion to this fear of the sky gods. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a kind of pagan religion, this kind of irrational fear. And obviously they're trying to attract eyeballs too. So it's a manipulation. It's bizarre. And honestly, the real threat isn't from climate change. It's from climate change policies that make energy scarce and expensive, like you were just talking about with the disaster that's unfolding in Europe. We have to make sure that doesn't happen here. Abundant energy is the key, and much of that agenda to hype climate change is about stifling domestic energy production, making energy scarce and expensive. So we have to really guard against that.
Well, and doing things like banning natural gas appliances, which is taking root all over the United States. These local bans, Santa Barbara, I remember, started it. Now it's moving across,
yes,
I guess, into New York and other places. That's just going to make people's lives more miserable and make people have a lower standard of living. Michael, we really appreciate your words tonight and actual factual analysis of what's happening. Now, our prayers continue